hear it? The dancing. Oh, that was fun for me. I hope it was fun for you guys as well. Welcome everyone to Transitions 2021. I'm Denise O'Malley, the founder of Unifying Wellness, and it is my delight to have all of you here today. I am going to do some spotlights here real quick. I cannot find my spotlight, and I need to spotlight myself. Evidently, that's not going to happen. There we go. Hey, I did it. Failure not required. Absolutely. So I am delighted to introduce all of you to Karlton Hoskins. Karlton is my co-host for this session, and we're going to have an awful lot of fun. Karlton, thanks for saying yes. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Denise. It is amazing to be here, and I want to look a little bit orange, but it's okay. It's just hiding. I'm still all bright lights.
All right, cool. So Karlton, this is my opportunity to chit chat with you for a couple of minutes and talk about you. And number one, why I wanted you as my co-host. So let's get that out of the way first. Number one, because you're a heck of a lot of fun. And I like
I'm a little bit crazy too. I think it's a little bit crazy.
Crazy is a requirement for being in my world. I will tell you.
Okay.
So you never know what we're going to come up with in our world. I just realized I need to exit something really quick. Sorry. So Karlton, you are the founder of iDue Systems. Is that correct?
That is absolutely correct. We started iDue Systems about 6 years ago. One mission, very simple mission: stop the business death rate. It is ridiculous. And so we wanted to fix that. And so that's all we do. That's our focus. Really simple.
Awesome. Okay, so stop the business death rate. Okay, you need to go into a little bit more, but let's start at the beginning. What made you decide to create iDue Systems?
My partner and I, Tehran Glover, we were working with the financial industry, and we were helping small businesses get funding. And we were super excited about it. We were watching small businesses get money that they otherwise couldn't get from alternative lenders. But then 6 or 7 months later, we started getting these phone calls that they couldn't pay back the funds, and it was impacting their business. So the way Tehran and I looked at it was like we were helping them to fail by providing them with money that they thought they needed, but they really didn't need. They needed another fix, and no one cared about what the other fix was. So we just couldn't sit by and be part of the problem. We wanted to be the solution. So we searched the world. We looked to see if there was some solution that did it, and it didn't. So we decided we were going to build it, and that's what we did. So we built a unicorn. It doesn't exist, and we're super excited that we can help business owners thrive, achieve sustainability, and succeed the dreams that they've always dreamt to achieve.
That's a really big mission. When did you start on that road?
Oh my gosh, we started 2016 down that road, and we're just getting our feet wet. I mean, this is a long journey. This isn't an easy mission. There's 32 million businesses in the United States, and 25 million of them generate less than 250,000 a year, and 76% of them will never see year 10. I don't think that's a fair number. I think we were looking at it like children and said 76% of them will see year 10. we would take a different approach to the way we raise children. And I think if we look at our businesses as babies, we should take a different approach on how we're raising our businesses.
It's amazing. And the product name is Pillar 5, and I'm a client of yours, and I have seen firsthand how robust this system is. Can you explain it a little bit to people?
Yes, absolutely, Denise. Pillar 5 is really a simplistic ideology that Tehran and I reverse engineered. And I won't go into detail, but I just tell you all, we started back in the 1800s when we decided to fix this solution because we wanted to start where it began.
Okay.
And we realized that there are life cycle stages in business, and many people either heard of them in theory, but there's no practical application to them. But it's like grade school. When you go to fourth grade and fifth grade, there's a particular curriculum you have to complete to go from one grade to the next. And you can't get to college unless you finish high school, right?
Right.
You can't get to high school unless you finish grade school. And the same thing with your business. You can't go from seed to startup to growth to expansion to maturity to exit without going through those grade levels. And there's specific tasks that need to be done. And I know that small business owners don't know, because if they knew, they wouldn't fail in the droves that they are. And so we laid out all those action steps. And we are not the doctors by no means, Denise. We don't presume to be the business doctors in this case. We're just the EKG machine. We're the business Fitbit. We identify what the issue is, and then the doctors fix it. And those doctors are business experts, business coaches, business consultants. And so we work hand in hand with them to make sure that they solve the problem. And that's where you, Brandon, the whole.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that later.
That's a whole nother story comes in, right?
Yeah.
It just gets really crazy after that. But yeah, that was our focus, to make sure that they had the steps, the step-by-step action steps to grow your business. Now, I could be absolutely wrong. So everybody, if you're listening right now, if you got an instruction manual that told you how to build your business from seed to maturity, when you started your business, please raise your hand. Please put a note somewhere, because that means I missed some research somewhere. And I don't think anyone's going to raise their hand. Well, we built it. We decided it was enough. And so we decided to build it.
Yeah. I've been so impressed by it. And I got to tell you, and the investment for it, man, it's worth thousands of dollars to get into it. Because what's really cool about it is I've taken this business assessment. It sets up pillars for me, and I can't jump to another section and get things done until I've taken care of what needs to be taken care of right now. And there's only 3 things that you feed me at a time. So I'm not on overwhelm with, oh my gosh, okay. If you could see my desk and my list of to-do lists, you would, I'm used to that, but hey, being able to deal with one thing at a time. And, even if it's a stumbling block that you're like, I really don't want to deal with that, I'll come back to it. You got to take care of it when you need to take care of it, type of a thing. Now, this system, I said, it's fantastic. And I know when it goes full into the market that it's going to have a pretty hefty price tag on it. What is it right now?
Well, we're really trying to get as many business owners into the tool as possible, because we really want to help them achieve their goals. And so we're offering it right now, lifetime access for $100. And I'm saying $100, I'm actually $1 over. But it just sounds a whole lot easier to just say $100, right? But it is $99. They get lifetime access to Pillar 5. They never have to pay for it again, and it'll walk them step by step through the business development process. It's the next best thing to the GPS on your phone. You wouldn't try to go from wherever you are to Alaska without a GPS. First, you got to find a location. In a business model, that's understanding what life cycle stage you're in, right? Then you need to know where you're going, location, where you're going, and then what are the turn-by-turn directions. You need to turn-by-turn directions. Otherwise, you'll just end up in California. So, not that California is bad, but we're heading to Alaska. That's the wrong direction. Whoa, where are we going? And that's what happens to business owners. They find themselves wandering around trying to get where they're going, and then they lose sight of their location, and then they settle for a job. And so they become self-employed and sell it instead of self-sustainable.
Yeah.
And there's a difference.
You guys are just as crazy as I am in setting our pricing and getting our feet into the water. So I really applaud you for that $99 lifetime to get into it. If you guys would, one of you guys put in the chat box the contact information and the website so that people can go over and take a look at it. We're going to be talking a little bit more about this in the next section that we do. But that we've made a promise in this event that we're not going to be sell sell, but you know what, there's some things that we need to tell you about. And this is one of them, because it's really going to be instrumental and critical in our conversation today. But as a small business owner, I've owned my own businesses for most of my career, and I have never seen anything like this. And oh my gosh, is it valuable? Just because you have years of experience doesn't mean you're not going to get value in it. It's a phenomenal tool that you guys have. So congratulations. And you guys are giving away a whole system as a door prize at the end of this. So you guys want to stay for the mix and mingle as soon as we finish up here today, because one of you will be winning this system. So, you know, as much as I'd like to say, pull out your credit cards now, go over and sign up for it, please don't. Wait until you find out if you won first. How's that? But anyways,
That's right.
We're going to bring up our cohort here, our partner in crime, and Masha Pavlova. Masha, yay, it's finally here. We've been talking about this for so long. I don't know if you guys all heard that at the very beginning. It was a huge earth-shifting sound, and that was the collective sound of everyone I'm connected to on social media saying, oh, thank God this thing is finally going on, because we've been hearing about it for 2 months. So Masha, thanks for being here today as well. Masha is the founder, the genius behind something called the iDue brand. And the three of us wanted to have a conversation today, and Masha is the one who's instrumental behind it all. And there's something that we will be talking about, if not in this section, then other sections this week. That the focus of Udefine Wellness is when we're talking about business owners like you guys, entrepreneurs, is connection, community, and collaboration. And you know what? We have done that. And how community has built into this. Let me give you an idea of the train that brought us here today. So I was invited to speak at a Global Workplace Wellness Summit 2 years ago. It sounds better than it was. I think there were 5 people at the talk, and I had one of the most popular talks. So it wasn't all that much. But there was one person at that talk who reached out to me and said, hey, we need to talk. And that was Michelle Jolly, who's on our team. She's on this call today as well. Michelle lives in Madison, Wisconsin. I live in Denver, Colorado. She said, hey, I want you to bring Udefine Wellness to Wisconsin. I'd never even set foot in the state, but we got to know each other, and she became pretty amazing. So she introduced me to Masha. Masha and I got to talking, and we've been building this now for a couple of years, it feels like. I'm not exactly sure how long. I felt that she needed an introduction to someone else. Another networking group that I'm in, I happened to be introduced to someone by the name of Natalie Forrest, who is also on this call. Natalie Forrest introduced me to iDue Systems. I ended up putting iDue Systems together with the iDue brand, so I take credit for that right there. But the fact of the matter is this is just the way it works. This is the way business works. It's really kind of crazy how it all happens. And you guys have all had similar situations. Masha, tell us what the iDue brand is.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much, Denise, for having me here.
Hold on.
Yes.
I think we need to go on Facebook Live.
We absolutely should.
Okay,
oh my God.
Okay,
yes.
Let me get that set up real quick here. I can do that really super fast. Okay.
We gotta have some music going or something.
I know. Somebody sing. How's that?
Natalie's over there rocking the maracas. I love it. Alex is dancing with. Awesome.
It put in a whole bunch of information for me that I didn't really need. I'm going to put it on my timeline. If anybody's looking for this, it's on the Denise O'Malley timeline. So here we go.
And we're live.
So everyone, we decided to let you all in on part of Transitions 2021 and the conversations we're having. We're launching into actually a really big conversation right now. And I have with me Masha Pavlova, the founder of the iDue brand, and Karlton Hoskins, my co-host, who is also the founder of iDue Systems. And I'm Denise O'Malley, the founder of Udefine Wellness. We all have common titles. And so I've just asked Masha to explain to us what the iDue brand is. So Masha, go ahead and take it from here.
Hey everybody, oh my gosh, it's such a pleasure to be here. It's such a pleasure to talk about the U brand. We have a mission to change the world of entrepreneurs, the culture of entrepreneurism. So for us, for me personally, I ran into the situation that Karlton talked about in the way that it happened personally in my life is for 9 years in business, I kind of spun my wheels. And finally, my body said enough. And so it shut down. So all of a sudden, out of nowhere, after a very successful year, all of a sudden, I couldn't work anymore. I couldn't do the things that anything that I was used to doing, and threw me off for a little bit. And what I started realizing is there is this thing that we consider normal that happens in the entrepreneur world and the small business world. And that's the life of overwhelm. It's the life of wearing all the hats consistently in your business. It's the life of, constantly running, not taking care of yourself, not prioritizing your time. And that's got to stop, you guys. Like that should not be our norm. That should not be something that we just accept. That should not be part of the small business world. And so what we started doing, what the vision was, is this is going to be funny. So 2 years ago, when all of this happened, I had this vision of creating an analysis, I called the business health analysis at the time, and being able to assess where the business is at, how to move forward, and then assemble a team of coaches to be able to fill those needs. So for the coaches side, it will be, hey, here's your client who's been looking for you. And for the client is, hey, here's this person who can help you with your next step. And we've been working on it. And then all of a sudden, Denise introduces me to Natalie. Natalie introduces me to Karlton. And turns out they've already built that whole system. And in the meantime, we've been building out the coaches side. So what we're doing is we are serving on one hand as the service providers, as the collective of experts who are going to fill in those gaps. So you're going to go through the system, you're going to get your 3 steps. And then from there, you're going to say, okay, well, what's next? I know what my next steps are. Great, thank you, now what? And so through Pillar 5 and through the coaches of the U brand, you'll be able to assess and see, okay, what does this step look like? You can do a DIY, the videos provided by experts, you can go in and get a coach. So it'll be coaching on demand, making it affordable. At the same time, it's something that I feel like you always need a coach. This person can either stay with you through the lifetime of your business, switch it out with different experts that have, different skill sets, different knowledge. But in the bigger picture, we're literally building out your entire puzzle with a team without you, really needing to do anything other than focus on your zone of genius. That's the core of the U brand that you see at the top. But wait, there's more. So, so the way I think about the U brand is think about it like a triangle, right? At the top, think about it like an iceberg triangle, right? So at the top above the water, you have the business side. Now that's the part that business owners that you're going to be looking for as a resolution to your business. Now, in my mind, since we're creating a brand new culture, we might as well tweak a couple of other things that desperately need tweaking, desperately. And so one of those things is well-being. We need to prioritize well-being as a consistent procedure as anything else in our business. You check your emails, you do your finance, you do all of these things, you do your marketing. Hey, and you should take care of your wellness as well. So that was the brilliance of the partnership with Denise and what she has created. So everything that we do, any way that you work with us, you're going to have access to Denise and her brilliant network of wellness professionals. And on the other side of things is community. How do we give back from a full cup? How do we structure that into our business? So we have a way that we're tackling that as well, to build that into the business, to be able to shift your attention to giving back while still being profitable. So supporting the communities, making sure that your local economy rises as you raise your business, if I can talk, and create win-win-win scenarios all around.
Awesome.
So, yeah, that's the gist of it.
So we're putting together this incredible thing, and who wants to talk about what this thing is actually going to be looking like?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Well, go, Masha. You just.
I got done talking. I'm not going to talk about it.
You're pointing to me.
Yeah. She's pointing at you. Okay. So Karlton, what's this triad or iceberg going to be looking like for you guys?
Oh my gosh. The easiest way I can say this is planet business. That's
Okay.
I don't know if I can say it any clearer than that. That's what comes out of my mouth. Planet Business. If anyone on this call, and I'm going to date myself just for a little bit, but please don't do the math. Do you remember Voltron? Do you remember the cartoon when we were kids? And they had all these different pieces, and they would come together, and they would form this big robot that would fight all these people. Planet Business. There you go, Tina. And then in this thing, it would solve all of the community issues or the world issues. Well, that's the way we see this. We know that it's not business alone that needs solving. We know that it's not community alone that needs solving. We know that it's not wellness alone that needs solving. If we could do all three of those very well and combine our forces like Voltron, then what happens is we empower our communities, we empower our service providers, we empower our entrepreneurs, we empower everyone through that. And the way that works is through technology in my mind. If you go into one piece of the technology, you're going to have complete access to the other pieces. So you won't go into Apple, and I'm not hating on Apple. There's some people here that love Apple. You're not going to go into one and then you can't access the other. So the way for me that I see it is a person will take an assessment. They'll find out where they are in their business. They'll know what life cycle stage they're in. They'll know exactly what next action step they need to take. And then the next thing that they need to do, the third step and the most important step is get help.
Yeah.
Because one thing about business entrepreneurship, we know what we know. And as my partner Tehran always says, we double down on what we know and we tend to neglect the things we don't know.
Yeah.
Rather than neglect them, let's lean on the experts that can assist us.
Yeah.
Whether that's in speed coaching, whether that's in a subscription-based coaching model that's affordable, like 30 or 40 something dollars, ridiculous, right? Because we're trying to help people. We know revenue will come later, all the way across the board. But if we can help our economy first, that's how we fix that. Now, if you're building your business the right way and you have your expert coaches, what's the next thing? You need employees. You want to grow. You want to scale. But while you're growing and you're scaling, they need wellness because sick employees can't do work. So it just ties the knot right into that. And then we start reaching out to community. Well, I mean, listen, it only makes sense that if we're doing all these things the right way and we're supporting our community, we are really, truly, literally changing the economy for the next generation.
Yeah.
Now, we may not get to see the end result of it. We may not get to see this Eden of business. But guess what? We'll know that we poured the foundation for it and that we all participated in the development of our own wealth, of our own future generations and of generations to come. And that's how I see it. That might be too macro. That may not be what you wanted, Denise, but that's how I feel. That's how I
don't have any agenda as to what I want on this. We said it when we met yesterday, we ended by saying, this isn't going to be scripted. We do not know where we're going with it. So, and for those who are with us live or even on Facebook Live, if you have questions as we go along, feel free to put them in the chat box. We will open it up for questions for those who are with us live here on the Zoom call. So I'm seeing this as, this is a turnkey solution, okay? As entrepreneurs, we go out to networking groups. We meet this person who can help us with this part of our business. We meet this person who can help us with this part of our business. And it's kind of like you open a jigsaw puzzle and you dump all the pieces on the table and you got to kind of figure out how they're all going to go together. But through this partnership, this collaboration through the iDue brand, it's kind of putting the puzzle together for you or with you, as opposed to you got to go do it all alone. We've got the vetted and trusted experts, both on the health side and the business side. And Tehran has disappeared.
I know exactly where he's going. So you said the magic word. So I'm assuming he's gonna grab the thing. You'll see the thing.
I just couldn't do it. I'm sorry. You said it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
A puzzle.
Look at that. That's called the entrepreneur puzzle. Do you see it?
Yeah, it's in cellophane too. It's white.
Yeah, it's in cellophane because guess what? This is how we build our business. Mm-hmm. We have no idea where we're going. We no idea what the starting point is. We have no picture. Make this 1,000 pieces, pour it on a table, and good luck.
Yeah, have fun. Have fun. Don't let the cat get in the middle of it and swipe some of your pieces,
Yeah, that's a good luck.
Yeah. But that's what we're doing, is that we are putting all this together. We're bringing in the experts. So we've got the business experts in the iDue brand. We've got the business experts and the platform through iDue systems, and you guys also have experts. We at Udefine Wellness, we've got the health experts. Whatever it is you need help with, man, we've got the coaches to be able to help you out with it, and they're all vetted and trusted advisors that we can recommend to you. So that's one of the big things, is because when you're in business on your own, you don't necessarily know. I mean, how many people have they've done business with someone, and boy, they found out the hard way that that's not really who you want to do business with. We've got it. And the thing is that we don't have just one. If you don't mesh with one person, we've got others. And we put together this huge network. It's not just 3 people here. We've got hundreds and hundreds of people who are behind all of us collectively. And that's what's really amazing. And, I just love it. Kudos to you, Masha, for the vision. And Karlton, you and I can pat ourselves on the back for saying yes and wanting to be a part of this whole thing. And, but there's just a lot of people who are involved in it. So Masha, talk about how would somebody get into the U brand world to enter this thing that we've created?
Easy. Go take see, I don't know where Karlton is on your screen, but go take the assessment. That is the first step, is figure out where you are. Because here's the thing, and Karlton, thank you so much for the conversations that you and I have had about this, because in my mind, it was this conversation of, okay, so we have all of these incredible experts. We have, brilliant superpowers. And yet, again, what is the order? So I can help you with branding all day long. I can, go and do a photo session for you. And yet, is that what you need right now? Is that the next logical step, or is that a shiny object? So being able to assess and see, okay, where am I at? What did I miss? Really quick, Denise, personal experience. So I took the test, and I've had my photography business for 9 years. And I took the test, and I'm like, there's something wrong. It shows me as a seedling. What? I've been in business 9 years. I make money. I know what I'm doing. What do you mean I'm in seedling stage? Well, and then having these conversations with other people and with Karlton about it, we have so many things that we miss. We have blind spots. We have blinders on. And so the business that we're building, it's not sustainable. It has holes in it. We're building on sand with giant gaps. And so the wind blows, our health, something happens to my wellness, and then the whole business blows over.
Yeah. We all have that, and we don't necessarily understand it. We've all had something that has happened. I slipped and fell on the ice in February and dislocated my shoulder, and it pretty much put me out of action. It felt like for 7 weeks, even though I'm trying to work, but it's kind of crazy. If you are not happy, healthy, and thriving, your business is not going to be happy, healthy, and thriving.
Yes.
Very well said, Denise. You can't say it any better than that.
Yeah. And so that's why it's, Masha, I was so impressed when you and I first started talking, when you wanted to integrate health and wellness to the platform of what you're building, because that's just not out there. I've looked at a lot of business platforms. It's not out there, or it's kind of, there'll be a little section on self-care that is maybe a meditation, but it doesn't talk about, okay, what is it that you need, and put you in touch with the people that actually help you with it. I love meditation. I don't do it often enough, but a 10-minute meditation a day is good for my business. It's not enough. It's
absolutely
just not enough,
And Denise, I wanted to bring something up really, really quick in regards to that. So we're talking about these assessments, right? So I know from our conversations, what has developed, and I think this is absolutely brilliant, and I think people on this call should know about this, in case you don't already. So Denise has developed an assessment of her own as well for your well-being. And I think it's absolutely brilliant, because again, how can we take the guesswork out? How can we take the objections out? How can we make this as easy for you as possible? Because here's the thing, we don't have time. We constantly are in a situation where we have more things than we can handle. Our list is growing, even though we're constantly addressing it, and yet it keeps getting larger. So how do we make self-care as easy for you as possible, and preventative healthcare? So Denise, tell us a little bit about that.
Thank you. I am so glad that you mentioned that. 2020 was a fun year for us. And I'm saying that with all due seriousness. It was actually fantastic for us, with not counting everything else that was going on in the world, because rarely in our lives are we given an opportunity for the entire world to come to a crash and halt at the same time. And I took that as an opportunity. We need to move forward on things. One of the things we wanted to move forward on is creating this individual well-being assessment. Now, I'm a reformed insurance agent. I am not qualified to put together a health assessment by any means, but I got a couple hundred people in my world who are. So we collaborated. Normally, when I say we, it's me and the mouse in my bra, as my dad always says, but that was not the case this time. Me and some really intelligent people who are experts in their field, and we created this individual well-being assessment that covers the 8 dimensions of well-being. Those are physical, emotional, social, spiritual, environmental, intellectual, and occupational. I think I'm missing one. Financial. I knew I was missing one. And so we ask questions in all of those 8 areas. And then, and we have this available for sale in the Wellness Center at iDue Wellness. And there's actually a little green square you can check on. It's got a price on it, I think, of about $200 or something like that, because it's a serious thing. We do this assessment, then you actually get to meet with someone for about 90 minutes who can help you set a path of where you need to go in your world. So we do have that available as an individual program. And if someone from my world is on here and can grab that link and put it in the chat box, I'd really appreciate it. But we know. Let me back up a step. So we work with businesses. I've worked with thousands and thousands of employees over my career and selling them employee benefit programs. And in the experience that we've had in the 5.5 years of Udefine Wellness being around, we understand that one of the reasons why people are not doing what they need to be doing or should be doing for themselves is because they don't know where to get started. And I call, when I'm meeting with groups of employees, I call the employees the ints of the world. I have the can'ts, the shan'ts, the don'ts, and the won'ts. And 61% of the employees fall in the don'ts category. And that's the people who say, I don't have the time, I don't have the money, I don't know where to get started, or I don't do anything for myself. And so we wanted to help those people, and that's what this well-being assessment does. And so, it's a tool available to those who come into the U brand. It's available as an individual as well, or through the workplace, just to help you get on the right path. We all know we all know the basics of what healthy living is. I call it taking your daily meds. That's movement, eat healthy, drink your water, get your sleep, meds. And yet there's so many of us that are unhealthy. Why is that? If we know what we should be doing and what the formula is, the basics of being healthy, why aren't we doing it? Well, that's why we have the Pathfinders in our organization and that assessment. So that was a long answer. Sorry, Masha, but I had to explain all that I could. And thank you, Stephanie Luaris, for putting that in the chat box. I really appreciate it. We'll also get it on the Facebook Live that we're doing at the same time. Awesome. Mm-hmm. So I think, this is groundbreaking, you guys, what we're doing. I mean, really, we've got 3 powerhouses coming together who have created innovative programs in the marketplace, who are able to say, I've got what you don't, you need what I've got, and be able, and when we complement each other very, very well, we work very well together too, that helps. But we complement each other very well to be able to say, okay, when you come into this, with the U brand, you've got the Udefine Wellness going over here, but the first thing you need to do is take that business assessment with Karlton. The U brand is not just a simple once a month networking event. It's far
part of it. That's definitely part of it.
Way more than that.
Mm-hmm. It's the community.
Yeah, so I've put something in the chat box. We've got a couple of answers over here. I asked the question of, I'm curious, for those who are on this call right now, what is it that you need right now in your business? And you can either unmute yourself and ask it live, or tell us live, and between the 3 of us, we can give you feedback, or you can put it in the chat box and we'll talk about it. One of the things, what is the D in meds? Is somebody is asking me. Let me go back to that. The D is drink water. So movement, eat healthy, drink water, get sleep. So we do have one comment that was in the chat box that was sent to me privately. And when I said, what do you need right now in your business? And the answer was an improved and complete website. So if that's one of the issues coming, if somebody coming into the U brand, how are you guys going to handle that?
Karlton raised his hand. I want to.
Yeah, he's the other direction, Masha.
Okay. Gotcha. So
let's let Karlton go first.
Yeah, because I'm super excited. I'm going to explode over here. I feel like I'm just going to have a heart attack. So it's so, number one, it's so revealing when we look at our business, and I don't know who I'm talking to. So if you want to throw the tomatoes, just aim at my screen, okay? I don't know where you are in your business, and here's what I've learned after over 18,000 hours of research. And I mean purely research, and I mean a full-blown team doing this research. That's my hours in the research. So you have to multiply that by 7 to get to the total amount of hours that we put in to building out this program. So I just really want to give you an understanding of what we've done.
Okay.
When we think we need to go build a website, there is an abundance of things that should have been touched way before we get to the website. And I know in our mind, I used to be the same way. Yeah, but this is all I got to do. This is the one thing that I got to do. And if I do this, then the next thing, I know what I need to do. It's the same ideology when we say, I need to start a business, I need to go register it, I need to get an EIN, and then I need to go get a merchant account, I need to get a bank account, and I'm in business. Well, it doesn't really work that way. The world wants you to believe it works that way. There's a reason why only 1% of companies in this country generate more than $1 million. There's a very specific reason to that. And that 86% generate less than $250,000 in gross revenue annually.
Okay, hold on.
There's a reason for that.
I gotta interrupt you on something. You said please. Less than 1% of the businesses out there gross more than $1 million in sales.
Yes,
it's funny.
According to the Department of Labor.
Then I've got every one of that less than 1% who are hitting me with ads that they have on social media about how they're making $120,000 a month. Give me a break. Wow.
Oh yeah, sure.
You're lying to me? No.
Well, it's the same reality when you get into the stock market, right? Everyone has a winning strategy. And then you go and you ask them to pull out their portfolio and they don't even invest in the market. They're investing in real estate. It's the weirdest thing ever, right? They can tell you how to do it, they just can't do it themselves.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's one of the things about the experts that we love to talk about is don't just get an expert because they claim to be an expert. Get an expert who can do and have done what you're trying to accomplish. Because if they haven't done it, then they're just talking, right?
Yeah.
You're better off going to YouTube or grabbing a quick TikTok video and learning from someone over there. But the reality is, you may think you need a website, and you may be 100% right. Absolutely. But you don't know what you don't know. And there's a lot of things that we don't know, we don't realize. And what we have to do is, rather than doing the busy work and trying to hurry up and get to the end result, we have to first try to figure out what is the process? Yeah. What is the process? I can't be in such a rush to get from New Jersey to California that I forget the turn-by-turn directions. Because I'm in a rush to get to California. I got to get to California. I got to get like the rabbit from Alice in the Wonderland. Slow down.
Yeah.
Slow down. Understand where you're going and how fast you're moving. Before I would take another step in any business, I tell a business owner, do an assessment. First of all, if you go to app.pillar5, spell it out, .com/try, put your credit card away. Absolutely free. We want you to take the assessment. It'll tell you the life cycle stage. It'll tell you the next action step you need to take. If it says go get a website, Masha's can help you get to an expert that can assist you. But if it doesn't tell you to go get a website, I greatly implore you to do the things that it's telling you to do, because this is taking a deep dive into your business. These are the models that large organizations have followed to get to where they're going. So before you think, I know exactly what my business needs, There's a question to that.
Mhm.
If you don't feel well, you go to the doctor. The doctor tells you exactly what you need. You may assume what you need. You may say, I just need a little bit of ibuprofen. I just need a little bit of sleep. I just need to eat. Oh, I just need a cup of coffee. That's where my head's hurting. Blah, 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 blah. And we do this self-assessment of our business. But what we don't realize is that our business is a 2-year-old. And we're threatening that 2-year-old's life by giving it medicine that was made for an adult.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking, oh, I got to do a website. But really, you need to do market research. You need to do a SWOT analysis. You need to do a brand makeover. You need to get your naming right. You need to get your deliverables right. You need to get your pricing strategy right. You need to get your.
Yeah.
But no one wants to do that work, right? It's kind of like building a house. So, oh, I want a pretty kitchen. Is your foundation straight? Who wants to pour $8,000 into a foundation? Are you kidding me? I want a beautiful kitchen. I got people coming over for Thanksgiving. Yeah, but while they're eating Thanksgiving dinner, they're going to fall through the floor. Is that what you want to happen? So we got to really think about it. And I just want to say that, and it is scary. Carol, you're absolutely right. Starting a business is scary, and I hope I scare every one of us.
Yeah.
One thing for sure, we are all entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
As long as we respect that and understand the data behind it, we're safe. But if we run out here thinking this is rainbows and cotton candy, we're going to get crushed by the pot of gold. I'm just going to tell you.
So, I just love it when we can wind you up and let you go. It's a lot of fun. So, I just did some mental calculations in my head that if you have 7 people on your team, you have roughly about 133,000 hours of research that you have collectively done as a group. So in all of your research, what is the number one reason why businesses fail?
They don't know where they are.
They don't know where
they don't know what that means. Yeah. The fact that I said that, and then I say they don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Sounds kind of hypocritical. So let me just kind of explain. There's 5 life cycle stages according to iDue systems, or pillar 5. I'm sorry, I was about to go into the pillars, my bad. Seed, startup, growth, expansion, and maturity. 5 stages. You'll see models all over the place. I promise you. 7 life cycle stages, 9 life cycle stages, 12 life cycle stages, blah, 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 blah. None of them have applicable steps. They're all theory. I'm thinking, I'm working, I'm doing. There's no action steps in there. It's just a title, if you will. Mm-hmm. Okay. If you know you're in the seed stage, the next question that I ask is, what are the things you must do in the seed stage to leave the seed stage, to graduate to the startup stage? A business says, oh, I just started, I'm in the startup stage. You've jumped a whole season of work. You just went into the 6th grade. You never went to first, you never went to second, you never went to third, never went to fourth, never went to fifth, and said, I'm in the startup stage, I'm in the 6th grade, I know my math, I know my numbers. But you don't know your ABCs, you don't know your 1, 2, 3s, and you can't spell. But I'm in the 6th grade, and business owners do that all day with their business.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have anything to do with our internal knowledge. The business is a separate entity. We have to build it like a separate entity. And there's a level of respect we have to give that. It's not easy. Can we generate revenue? Sure. Can we make some money? Sure. But it's not sustainable. And it's not going to get you to the success you're trying to get to, which is why Masha talks about it like the shiny object syndrome. Yeah. You're chasing the shiny object. Oh, everyone's doing marketing on Facebook. All I need to do is market on Facebook. I'm going to win. And then you pour your money into that and you don't get the results. And then you burn out. Let's go into Masha's story. You burn out because you're working hard. You're trying to find the next shiny object. And then your health goes, and now you need Denise. See how that 3 just lined up really easy?
It lines up great. As you are going on and on, I'm sitting here thinking, if you know of someone who is looking to maybe launch their own business, it's not as simple as hanging out your shingle and all of a sudden all these people line up to come to your doors. That's the problem. I wrote a book a couple of years ago called Hey Clients, Where Are You? And it's under that premise that you have a passion, you hang out your shingle, you throw open the doors, nobody is there. And once you've worked through your friends and family list on Facebook, what? It's not that easy. It's not what you need to do. But every person who is looking to launch a new business needs to watch this video. And I actually am going to put it in front of my 20-year-old son who loves watching YouTube. And so we'll get it uploaded to YouTube so he can watch it. But they need to know it's not as Simple as having a great idea.
Right. But once you know,
Yeah,
it makes all the difference in the world.
it
You are
does.
not burnt out. You stay energized. You can lean on your purpose. Now, when you go to experts, you can go to Masha, you can go to UBrand experts that are there, and you know exactly what you need now.
Yeah,
So when you walk in and say, I need marketing, you know you need marketing. There's no question that you're chasing something. You know exactly what you need, right? I need marketing. Then you turn to Masha and Masha's team and you go, out of the 5 pillars that support a business, infrastructure, management, marketing, finance, and credit, I'll slow down. Infrastructure, management, marketing, finance, credit, and credit breaks off to business and personal. When you realize that there's one of those blocks you need to work on, here's the beauty of what UBrand is doing with Pillar 5's relationship and Denise. You turn to UBrand and say, I need help with a management pillar. Here is the block that I'm working on. They take that block, which is a macro action, and they break it down into bite-sized pieces. And they say, here's how to do that. Or we can help you do that. So you can complete the task and move on. You reduce the stress. You know exactly what you're doing. You can get to your destination a lot faster. You're not doing busy work. You're actually being productive. That reduces the stress level. Now you can lean over to Denise, get your meditation down, get your wellness down, start looking at natural ways to improve your body. And once all 3 of those things, have you noticed the people who got to $1 million, they start looking sexy later? Have you all noticed that? I don't know if you noticed that. Before they get to $1 million, they're sitting on the couch, they're blowing up, they're eating chips, they're drinking coffee, they're doing all of this stuff. As soon as they get to a certain number in business, they just get this sexiness to them, right? Their skin starts glowing. They start getting fit. They start getting muscles. They start looking fine. You're like, well, what's going on? They're getting their wellness together because they realize they can't run a business if they're sick.
that's right.
So
So
all of it works in tandem. So let's go get your sexy back.
if somebody will put that link to get that free assessment done, again, I cannot seem to find it on the scrolling, and I don't want to keep scrolling. And I also want to put it on our Facebook Live so that those who are watching this on Facebook Live or the recording on Facebook later, they can also take the assessment, because I think that's really important. So we did have somebody else, when we asked what their business needs, says focus on a target audience for early adoption. What does that mean to you guys?
You said it one more time?
Focus on a target audience for early adoption.
Mhm.
I think it's insane, in focusing on who the target audience is going to be. You've got this great idea, but who's going to be your client? Okay, and I'm getting a nod of the head that yes, that's exactly what it is.
So I think it comes down to the exact same thing. It's so I wanted to piggyback on what you were saying, Karlton, because I think it's you're looking at it from one perspective, and I want to bring another perspective into this. It's kind of the same thing, but it's just a different angle. So when we go into business, we'll go in with a great idea. We have a skill set, we have a passion. We get into it, we get into the weeds, and we start doing all of the things that actually take us away from the thing that we went into business for. Lots of books written about this, lots of things written, but there's not been a solution. So I think what it comes down to is take this tool. Right now, well, right after this is done, go take this tool, use this assessment, because here's what it's going to allow you to do. It's going to allow you to clear the path to follow based on your own superpowers. You can choose. So that step is in there. That step is in the system. Again, there's a sequence to the system. So once you're in it, you'll be able to say, okay, so this is the next step. These are the next couple of steps. Do I need help with this? Is this something I can do on my own? Is this something that I can just watch a video that will be provided for you? And you can say, okay, now I know how to do this. Or do I need to go get a coach? So you still have the option to do things yourself. You still have the option to expand, but this really allows you to sit in your zone of genius and your superpower, do what it is that you started doing in the first place, the reason that you wanted to become an entrepreneur, what's been gnawing at the back of your head for ever and a day, and whatever you want to change in this world. But it's going to allow you to stay focused on your superpower, allowing others to do the rest. And not only that, but you're going to be helping out the business who absolutely loves doing the thing that you hate. So, that's the brilliance of it. So, but I think the answer to your question, Alex, is really, I'll throw that back to Karlton, because I think the answer is going to be go take the test, right? Because it's going to provide you the steps and it's going to provide you the solutions through the coaches and the brand and the content.
Absolutely, Masha, you're dead on. That's the answer. That's the answer. Again, we have to avoid out of our own intellect of doing a self-prognosis on an issue with our body. We don't want to assess our body. When you walk into the doctors, there's a couple of things that happens that make you stand on the scale. They take your height, they take your blood pressure, they take your temperature. There's a few things that happen. Then they ask you, okay, what's going on? Let's find out what you feel and where you're at. And if they don't know, they don't just go, do this. They say, well, let me go get some other experts. Let me go get some other specialists. Let's run additional tests. Let's do an x-ray and let's get the facts back. Should I take this? Should I do this? Don't do anything until we have an answer. Because the moment you start moving without an answer, it's called busy work. It's called busy work, right? And now you're just doing something because it feels good, but you're really not being productive. And you burn, that's that burn. Yeah, me too, Tina, I'm guilty. We burn out that energy. That's what Masha was talking about. And you don't realize it's like your phone. You start burning out your energy and then you get the answer. Now I'm depleted. I don't have the energy to even finish the answer because I'm tired. You know, that's a whole nother thing. I did all of this. Why won't this work? Because you're trying to solve for a problem that didn't exist. You thought it did, right? And there's steps to getting those things. And no matter what the action step is, I'm going to say this. You don't have to fail to achieve what you're doing. I know that's the mantra since 2000. You got to fail in business, start another business. Fail in business, start another business. Fail in business, start a business. And then eventually you get lucky and it works. That's not how that works. Michael Jordan didn't fail ever in basketball to win the number of rings he did, all right? Warren Buffett didn't fail in business to get where he is today. That's not necessary. Follow the breadcrumbs, follow the proven paths. So rather than chart our own paths, let's just follow the path that works. What that means is get a guide, get an expert, right? And I know, and I gotta say, I'm guilty. When people would talk to me about business coaches and consultants a long time ago, I'd be like, I don't got money for a coach or a consultant. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like, I'm not even making revenue yet. You're talking about a coach or a consultant. That's ludicrous.
Yeah.
That was me. That was this guy. I'll go to YouTube. I'll go get a book in Barnes & Noble. I will learn it myself. We can't get an MBA in everything. We can't be a master in infrastructure management, marketing, finance, and credit. All 5 expertise. Even if we did, there's small micros of each one of those. That's a whole. Branding is completely different from video production. Video production is completely different from script writing. Script writing is completely different from social media management. Social media management is different from SEO. SEO is different from YouTube development. Should I go on? Please don't make me. There's expertise in all those things. Lean on all the coaches. And the beautiful thing about you, Brand, and I know I sound like I'm selling, and I'm really not. I'm just really telling you what I'm passionate about, what we're all passionate about.
Yeah.
If you go get the experts who do what you don't like to do, trust me, it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. That's why Brand is doing it the way they're doing it. They're not the normal coaching model. They're doing subscription-based coaching. Listen, go get your assessment right now. It's going to take you 7 minutes to finish the whole thing. 7.
Well,
Holy crap.
After
7 minutes. Well, after. But then when you come into speed coaching, you will know exactly what you need to work on. No questions, no ambiguities. And then when you talk to one of the coaches in the speed coaching session, you could talk to that. How do I do this thing? Where do I need help with this thing? Versus self-evaluating and projecting what we think we need. Just think about the little girl. I love children, right? So let's just think about a little girl, 3 years old. She comes in and she says, Mommy, I don't feel well. I need a bowl of cereal. What? Yep, it's going to make me feel better. I just need a bowl of Lucky Charms. It's going to make me feel better. How many would prescribe that? I'm just curious. I would probably give her the Lucky Charms anyway. But we need to find out what's wrong with you. I'm just saying.
Exactly. So we have somebody.
We really need the truth.
Yeah, we have a last question in the chat box, and so this really is the last one, guys. And that is somebody who says that they're in the seed stage, easy for me to say. And can we talk a little bit more about that and what it maybe look like?
Absolutely. I'm just going to do this really quick because I feel like I'm just stealing the microphone.
Okay.
The seed stage is actually broken down into 5 different levels. The seed stage is really the concept stage. And I think Alex mentioned this earlier. He was in the concept stage, conceptual stage. Well, in the seed stage, you come up with your concept, the idea, right? You shouldn't have put any money into the market. You shouldn't have spent money on anything, $0. Level 1.1, 0. You have to determine if the market wants what you have. And just because someone else is selling it doesn't mean you can sell it too. Because if you're just selling a thing, there's no passion. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but I'm pumped. I'm crunk about what I do, right? I don't know if I was selling Twinkies, I would be this hype. I don't know. I just don't think so. I could probably sell a Twinkie to a 4-year-old. 40-year-old, not so much. But I could sell this to a baby because this is what I love. And if we align our purpose with what we're trying to achieve and provide a solution for what people need, then they'll come talk to us. And then you don't ever have to be anyone other than yourself. You could be you. And so it becomes easy. So that's what that seed stage is. It's aligning your purpose with the problem and then creating the solution. And if there is no solution, then you build it, right? If there's an existing solution, maybe you modify it. Maybe you talk to a different market because you realize they're not talking to the right people. And you can get all in that seed. There's a lot of pieces to the seed stage. Go to Pillar 5. It's going to break down all of them. There's 5 different levels. Go, Masha. Bring them up.
Right. I have a question that I know is going to come up, and it probably came up already with the person who got the seed stage, like it came up with me. I was in business 9 years. Talk to people who have been in it for a while, who have been making the money, who have been doing the thing, who are like, look at all these things I have to show for it. Why is it showing me the seed stage?
Okay, you're going to have to answer it really quick because we will stay on schedule.
Okay, so first of all, I have to apologize for the system. It is completely objective. It has no feelings. It is a robot. It's going to go get the objective answers, and it doesn't care how you feel. That's what we call our heavy. I will say sorry for it now because most people that I know, most business owners that I know are going to fall in the seed stage. I've talked to companies been around for 12 years, generating over $1 million a year, and they found themselves in the seed stage, and they wanted to put their hand through their laptop while they were talking to me. Here's the reality. If you miss key components to developing a sustainable business, the system sees you as what you are. It doesn't look at what you project yourself to be. It looks at what your business sustainability level is. So if your business is having an issue at $1 million, if it gets punched in the face, like Mark Cuban and Mike Tyson always says, you're going to wake up off the ground and you're going to be 5 years younger than you thought you were.
All
was
right.
that fast enough, Denise?
That was fast enough. With that being said, let's say goodbye to everyone on Facebook and watching the recording. So bye, folks. Thank you for joining us. Okay, we'll stop the recording.